Patch 1.4 releases today, and if you're behind on the times like me, you're probably wondering what that means. Well, this patch is bringing a lot of changes to the game, with one of the biggest ones being the quote-unquote removal of TV mode. There's also new story missions, 2 new S-Rank and their respective engines, a big Holo Zero update, a slight combat rework, 2 new areas, 2 new Bangboo, several events and quality of life updates. I'm Hazzy, and this is the S-Rank report. Let's get into it, proxies. Patch 1.4 is serving as a soft relaunch of ZZZ. Similar to its original release, there is a pre-registration event, and they're offering another 160 free pools simply for playing through the game. The story of ZZZ is hitting a climax in Chapter 5. The preview video suggests that Wise and Bell are going to finally reveal some truths about their old teacher and the fall of New Eridu. Everyone is here for the finale, but we as the proxy are going to be working hand in hand with hand to handle the situation at hand. Not hand the building, but you know, the euphemism. Anyways, we're going to get to learn about Miyabi's backstory and her tragic inheritance through the main story. We also learn about Harumasa's mysterious past in his TV schedule. All of this should culminate into a finale where everyone can't let him get away. I can only assume him refers to the sacrifice. You know, this guy. Which begs the question, how did he escape from the holding facility in the first place? Maybe Pearlman can let us know now that he's awake, but with Public elections right around the corner, there's just a lot going on in New Eridu. Since we'll be spending a lot of time with Section 6, let's meet the new agents added to the ZZZ roster. Oshimi Miyabi is an ice anomaly agent with a unique mechanic called Frost, and Asaba Harumasa is an electric attack agent who can set up traps across the field. Miyabi will be on the banner with A-Rank's Piper and Tsukaku, while Harumasa's banner will feature Lucy and Seth. Both banners and the respective engine banners will begin with the patch of 1.4 and last until January 21st. That's 5 whole weeks compared to the standard Hoyoverse 3, so let's get to working, proxies. On top of the extended banner, the producers of ZZZ are giving us Harumasa for free as a thank you gift. Let's go ahead and check out his kit. Harumasa uses a bow and blade and is constantly repositioning himself in combat. His EX attack launches him in the air, throwing a dagger and enhanced arrow forward, leaving electric quivers on the field. Pressing his special attack will have him jump back in the air, attacking with his bow, while holding his special attack will allow him to mark enemies and the active quivers to home to. You can control which enemies are marked by holding your basic attack button and aiming with his bow. Enemies attacked by the electric quivers become X-marked, awakening Harumasa. In this state, his dash attack closes in on enemies, and he releases a series of slashing attacks to his closest target. His ultimate Zanshin releases a massive piercing arrow dealing electric damage. Overall, he seems like a good pick if you're looking to replace your M76 Anton, especially since his passive overclock triggers off of stun agents like Ambi or anomaly agents like Grace. Speaking of anomaly agents, let's talk about the S-Rank we've all been waiting for. Miyabi is looking to be a powerhouse for disorder teams similar to her partner Yanagi. She introduces a unique mechanic called Frost. Basic attacks will inflict enemies with ice fire, and when attacked, the anomaly gauge will rapidly fill, triggering Frostburn. All party members have increased anomaly buildup when attacking frostburned enemies. Every time frostburn is inflicted, Miyabi gains a stack of falling frost. This maxes at 6 stacks. Her EX ability deals massive AoE frost damage, and with enough energy you can activate it twice for a secondary slash. Each slash will grant you a stack of falling frost. Holding her basic attack consumes all frost and starts everyone's favorite samurai sword animation. Miyabi charges her sword and unleashes a series of empowered slashes. The more frost, the longer the charge, and the longer the charge, the more damage the ability does. Now, the reason I say she's going to be a powerhouse for disorder teams is her passive. Any support team member like Tsukaku or someone from the same faction like, well, Tsukaku, activates her passive Bask in Frost. When disorder is triggered by any team member, Miyabi will gain 2 stacks of falling frost, and her next charged basic attack will ignore 30% ice resistance of the enemy it hits. She'll pair well with Yanagi. If you missed or skipped out on Yanagi, Bernice or Grace should also work with a Tsukaku support. Miyabi's ultimate is appropriately named Lingering Snow. Upon activation, she gains 3 stacks of falling frost and a 30% ice damage increase that lingers for 12 seconds. Okay, I know that was a bad joke, but you have to admit, Miyabi feels like the one to pull for. Anomaly is the strongest damaging class in the game right now, and I can only hope that the other classes don't suffer for it. Now, before we talk about the new Bangboo, I want to briefly mention the combat update. The decibel system is moving from a shared point system to an individual point system. On-field agents generate decibels in the normal way, but the off-field agents now gain a portion of the decibels as well. This means you can stack decibels and unleash 3 different ultimates all at once. This is a massive game changer for endgame content, as now unleashing ultimates will feel more like using elemental bursts if you play that other Hoyo game. To assist with gaining in these agents, check-in events are returning, so make sure you log in on 7 different days to gain 10 encrypted master tapes and also 10 boopons, because I guarantee you are going to love the new Bangboo. Agent Gulliver is an S-rank Bangboo commissioned by hand, and I kid you not, he kicks open the door and starts blasting. I love this Bangboo. His chain attack is the same as his active skill, but the blaster pierces through enemies, dealing electric damage. We're also getting Brawler Boo, whose active skill is to just ascend. When enemies are hit with a strong attack or stunned, Brawler Boo dive bombs into enemies and deals fire damage. Its chain attack is a strike barrage in a large area, and you can get this little guy for free in the new Hollow Zero update. In Shadows Lost, the update in question, Ray is missing from Scott Outpost. She's in the Lost Void, and proxies will have to enter a pure combat Hollow Zero experience to find her. In this Hollow, agents will gain ether resonance for special abilities like Bangboo attacks. When proxies find Ray, they can make gear exchanges for bonus effects. Ophelia is also here offering special gear that gives alternate abilities. Only Miyabi, Ellen, Yanagi, and Billy have access to these at this time, with more hopefully being introduced in the future. Now don't fret if you're behind in Hollow Zero content, because there's now a function that will increase agent power, albeit temporarily. This helps new proxies enter endgame content easier and allows senior proxies to bring their newly acquired agents into battle quicker. Beating high-level hollows now grants the clear rewards for lower ones, and finishing Season 1's rewards will unlock a new set to work on. These rewards will include Victoria housekeeping coupons, which are used to farm for drive discs without using battery. There's 2 new sets you should save those for. Branch and Blade is Miyabi made. The 2-piece set offers a flat crit damage increase, while the 4-piece set offers a secondary crit damage increase based on elemental mastery. When Freeze or Shadow occurs, the equipper gains a 15% crit rate increase as well. Astral Voice should be a good set for supports, as it's a 4-piece set that triggers off of Quick Assist. The 2-piece set offers a flat attack increase, but equipping the 4-piece set will give you an attack boost that bases on astral stacks. These stacks last 15 seconds, stack 3 times, and each of them are gained from using a Quick Assist. The agent that activated their Quick Assist will maintain the buff. With the Victoria housekeeping coupons and the returning double up events, gearing agents appropriately should take a little less time. Now technically we're still talking combat, so let's move on to the new challenge mode, Deadly Assault. These are similar to Shiyu Defense with high ether activity and special effects. It has a score-based system that grades you based on 2 fronts. The first is overall damage, and the second is mechanics such as afflicting anomaly or stunning and interrupting enemies. There are a total of 9 stars you can achieve, but only 6 are needed to claim all Polychrome rewards. Deadly Assault is going to run on an opposite schedule to Shiyu Defense, with each running 14 days. If you max out rewards in one, you will always have new content the following week for the other. The first Deadly Assault will start the Friday after patch and will last 3 weeks before maintaining a 14-day schedule. Back to Shiyu Defense, there is a quick sweep feature being added this patch. Clearing the 4th node with an S rank in the current season will allow you to skip the first 3 nodes and still claim rewards in the next. If you weren't able to clear that S rank, you can still start the challenge from the 3rd node. Clearing the 3rd node with an S rank allows you to claim all rewards for the 1st and 2nd. That should be all of the major combat changes, which just leaves the events, the main story changes, and quality of life updates. I'll try not to take up too much of your time. There are 5 events on the way, with the biggest one being Into That Pale Wasteland. One of the 6 Great Hollows Persennas has spawned a massively unstable companion hollow named Melano. The hollow contains an irradiant core, which is causing irregular corruption and disabling electronic devices. As such, Section 6 is called on by PubSec to deal with it. Proxies will assist Section 6 through Melano in the new Bangboo mode, more on that in a bit. There are many different paths to take in Melano, so proxies should be mindful when exploring. Various equipment and abilities will present themselves in Melano to assist with pathing, so be sure to check every dead end. You may find that it's not so dead after all. Progressing through Melano nets you combat permits, which are used for gear deployments for Section 6, strengthening them for this venture. Attached to this event is a completable field manual where you can earn more rewards. You can also choose where to enter Melano based on tasks in the manual. Proxies can gain early access to this event by finishing Chapter 2 in the main story. Bangboo vs. Ethereal sees the return of Coach Aster. Our little Bangboo trainer needs our assistance for combat assessments. Proxies will be guiding Bangboo through hollows in a sort of tower defense minigame. There's a new Bangboo for each stage, and every stage in a chapter must be completed before moving to the next. Stages grant co-op codes that will increase Bangboo levels to make raising the assessment grade easier. Completing this event will net you Polychromes and a name card. Where the Stars Shine Bright is a fan club event for the members of Section 6. If you're caught up on the story, you'll remember this guy from the HIA. He's leading a fan club and starting a promotional event starring Section 6. Participants will be quizzed on their knowledge of Section 6's members, then deploy agents on HIA missions with unique promotions to claim their prizes. Rewards include Polychromes, Boopons, and level up materials. The next event, Collab Designer, reintroduces Sybil in the HIA. She'll ask you to distribute questionnaires about the VR system and complete various commissions for easy rewards. This event has a bingo system similar to the recently introduced Rito weekly tasks. Make sure you're there to clear the board. The picture puzzle event is also making a return, but this time it won't be at the newsstand with our bestest boy, Hal. 2 Bangboo are going to be set up on 6th Street to show you your combat footage review, which is just those cute little pictures that we had to solve last time. Now, I did briefly mention that the double dish drops are returning, but the double material drops are making a return as well. Plus, with new characters being released, we have a new Notorious Hunt, a new Expert Challenge, and a new Routine Cleanup stage. It's worth mentioning that Port Elpis and the Reverb Arena also bring us new Officer Mew Mew challenges. They mentioned the Reverb Arena a lot in the live stream when talking about the events, so I'd expect to spend a lot of your free time here. On the flip side, Port Elpis feels like it's going to be more story-based since the word Elpis translates to hope. This area was mainly used for supplies during the fall of Old Eridu, so pay attention to conversations here for lore drops. Now for the big update, the quote-unquote removal of TV mode. It is under my understanding that TV mode is not completely deleted from the game. You should still be able to select monitor array mode from the top of the screen when choosing story missions. However, the devs are now focusing on a more immersive experience. Bangboo mode takes you out of the computer seat and into Eos, allowing for a more direct hollow interaction. Eos brings unique abilities and challenges to the table, which should make you feel a bit more impactful in the main story. I, for one, am slightly saddened by this default change, as monitor array mode was something unique to ZZZ, but I also understand the massive frustrations in the community. Dialogue would constantly interrupt your movement, the missions were extremely handholdy, and you had to use your imagination to see what your agents were seeing. This adjustment to Bangboo mode simply makes sense. The story sets up this Matrix-esque process where Bell or Wise plug into Eos, and the opposite sibling is the guy in the chair. Having the player walk around as Eos offers a more dynamic experience. TV mode is watching Eos' movements on the HDD, which is what your sibling is seeing, whereas Bangboo mode is what your chosen sibling is experiencing. Another way to look at it is TV mode is the Cliff Notes version of the new Bangboo mode. All in all, as someone who enjoys TV mode, I think it's a positive change, or at the very least a step in the right direction. Trust events are getting a quality time feature. Starting at Trust Level 2, proxies can walk around with their favorite agents at unlocked locations. Polychromes are obtainable from these events. Sometimes agents will stop walking to interact with you and give you a gift. You can even take agents to the arcade and play the 2v2 Snake Game mode. Finally, we can see if Billy's the best gamer of them all. Speaking of the arcade, Bizarre Brigade now saves progression, so if you have to step away for an extended period of time, don't worry, you will catch right up in a jiffy. Other quality of life updates include a few UI optimizations and ray tracing being added to the PS5 port. Mobile users will start to be able to delete old data to free up storage space, and this feature will be added to PC soon. The internet is also being optimized with the experience requirement between levels and the level requirements for missions, events, etc. both being reduced. An upgrade recommendation system has been added to the game as well. Proxies can now select an upgrade plan for their agents based on in-game community guides or make one of their own. Anything selected in that plan will be marked with an agent profile picture, making it easier to remember which agent you are working on and their needs. There's also something that shows combat readiness, and that offers a suggested order of upgrading. For discs and engines, an overclock feature has been added for easily leveling. No more clicking on the details page to enhance items. When acquiring discs, they will be displayed from highest rarity to lowest now. This is more so a help for the double up event, as it used to be difficult to track which discs were the double drops. The coffee shop has been changed from rotating daily coffees to just 2. one being the normal 80 battery charge and the other offering 60 battery charge with a double drop effect that you can use on whichever tokens you need. Finally, starting with patch 1.4, you should be able to walk around New Eridu with any agent you've obtained. Don't worry, this is not locked behind trust and it shouldn't be limited to S-rank agents. That is everything I have for the S-rank report for patch 1.4. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you found anything in this video useful, and share with your fellow proxies so they can have the information as well. I'm Hazzy on the internet, and I'll see you in the hollows. Good luck, proxies.